very important that, you know, the casting phase, finding people who had the kinds of stories that I knew existed in the world, but more importantly, were willing to share that. Because this kind of thing happens to us all, but we don't have to live it and experience it in front of millions of people. You know, you take the real elements, you set it within this production construct, and then you supersize.
You ever notice how quiet it gets right before a storm? That strange calm before everything explodes? Well, that's exactly what happened in Mona Scott's world, until the silence was shattered by chaos, police sirens, and contracts being ripped to pieces overnight. Because what went down behind the scenes of Love and Hip Hop wasn't scripted, it wasn't for ratings, it was real life. And Mona Scott just made one of the boldest, coldest moves of her career, firing cast members with no warning after a shocking police showdown on set. Yeah, you heard that right. Police were called to a filming location where chaos broke out among the cast, and within 24 hours, Mona pulled the plug on several familiar faces. No public statement, no last scenes, no closure, just gone.
Before I am a manager, even as a producer, that's the skill set that I bring to the table. So of course my cast members get the benefit of that. For me, the goal is to see them succeed.
Insiders say this wasn't just another argument or fight for camera time. It was the breaking point of months of building tension, manipulation, and betrayal. And it might mark the beginning of the end for one of the most powerful reality TV franchises ever built. But to really understand how we got here, we need to rewind. Because this meltdown didn't start overnight. It started years ago, in the empire that Mona Scott built from nothing. An empire now cracking under the weight of its own drama.
My advantages in business and everything about me that makes me a powerful, strong woman are all the things that you cannot get from a man.
Before she was the queen of reality TV, Mona Scott was a hustler in the music industry. She started out managing some of hip-hop's biggest names, Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, and 50 Cent. She was smart, tough, and she knew exactly how to turn talent into stardom. But when the music world began shifting, Mona saw an opportunity somewhere else, in reality television. That's how Love and Hip Hop was born. What started as a show about music and relationships quickly turned into something bigger. It became raw, explosive, and emotional, and fans couldn't get enough. The arguments, the love triangles, the betrayals, it all felt real.
I want to, when I lay down and take that final breath, know that I have exhausted every ounce of potential that, you know, was bestowed on me.
Mona wasn't just producing TV. She was producing cultural moments. Love and Hip Hop New York kicked off a movement. Then came Atlanta, Hollywood, Miami, each city with its own chaos, its own stars, and its own heartbreaks. People tuned in every week, not just for the music, but for the emotion, for the tears, the fights, the confessions. Mona knew the formula better than anyone: love, pain, and truth, all captured on camera. But behind those cameras, the story was different. As the franchise grew, so did the pressure. The bigger the show got, the more intense things became. Cast members fought for screen time. Some said producers pushed them into scenes that weren't safe. And little by little, the line between entertainment and exploitation started to blur.
I think that that's important, that we continue to educate, we continue to talk about that, because it's easy for it to just be, you know, a celebration in the way that Christmas became less about, you know, Christ and more about presents.
By the time Love and Hip Hop Atlanta hit its peak, insiders were already whispering that things were spiraling out of control. And that's where this latest chaos began. During a recent filming in Atlanta, multiple sources say tensions that had been brewing for weeks finally exploded. What was supposed to be a simple scene, a confrontation between two cast members, turned into something much darker. According to insiders, yelling turned into shoving, and shoving turned into a full-on physical altercation. Security rushed in, but things got so out of hand that production had to stop completely. Crew members were reportedly terrified as tempers flared, and before anyone could calm things down, someone called the police. That's right, officers showed up on set. Cameras stopped rolling, cast members were separated, and several were escorted off the property. But what made this moment different was what happened after. Mona Scott didn't wait for the dust to settle. She didn't call a meeting or issue a statement. She took action, fast. Within 24 hours, contracts were canceled. Cast members who had been part of the franchise for years were suddenly out. No warning, no explanation, just silence. And that silence sent shockwaves through the Love and Hip Hop family, because for the first time, Mona's empire looked like it was cracking from the inside. Now, here's where it gets even messier. Multiple insiders say this explosion on set wasn't just about that one fight, it was the result of months of tension. Cast members had reportedly been complaining about unfair treatment, late payments, and producers setting up ambush scenes without warning. One person described the filming environment as emotionally exhausting. Another said they felt used. And while the cameras showed love stories and friendships, behind the scenes it was more like a battlefield. People were arguing over contracts, accusing producers of playing favorites, and calling out Mona directly for how she ran the show. So when that police showdown happened, some say it gave Mona the excuse she'd been waiting for, a reason to clean house. According to production insiders, she told her team, if they can't follow the rules, they're done. And just like that, multiple names disappeared from the call sheet. Fans immediately noticed something was off. Favorite cast members were suddenly missing from social media promos. Scenes felt disjointed. People who had been the faces of Love and Hip Hop were just gone. And of course, the rumors started flying. Some claimed Mona was trying to protect herself legally, that the network was fed up with on-set chaos and had warned her to get control or risk cancellation. Others believe Mona was sending a message to the rest of the cast that she was still the boss and nobody was untouchable. But here's the twist. The police showdown might have been just the tip of the iceberg. Sources close to production say there were already legal issues brewing behind the scenes. Reports of unsafe filming conditions, allegations of emotional manipulation, even talk of lawsuits from former cast members who say the show exploited their pain for ratings. One insider revealed that producers allegedly encouraged drama even during real emotional breakdowns. If you cry, they'll keep rolling, the source said. If you fight, they'll get closer. So when police showed up on set, Mona knew she couldn't afford another scandal. She had to act fast. But what nobody expected was the emotional fallout. Some of the fired cast members reportedly found out through social media that they were cut. Imagine waking up one morning to discover you no longer have a job and that your entire storyline, your reputation, your reality is being erased. One former cast member posted a cryptic message online saying, "It's crazy how loyalty don't mean nothing when cameras stop rolling." Another simply wrote, "I gave my all, and this is how they do me." Fans flooded the comments, demanding answers from Mona, but she stayed quiet. For days, she didn't say a word. No statement, no apology, just complete silence. Then, finally, Mona broke her silence with a carefully worded Instagram post. She wrote, "I've always believed in telling authentic stories that reflect our culture, our struggles, and our truth. Not everything is meant to be understood from the outside, but every story deserves to be told." It sounded poetic, but people weren't buying it. Within minutes, her comment section exploded. "This isn't storytelling, it's exploitation," one person wrote. Another said, "You made millions off their pain." And while Mona tried to move on, the internet wasn't ready to let it go. Screenshots started circulating, showing behind-the-scenes messages between producers and cast members. Some messages allegedly told people to bring drama or lose screen time. Others hinted that certain emotional scenes weren't real. They were staged to make people break down on camera. That's when fans started turning on the show completely. As word spread about the police incident and the firings, advertisers began to pull back. Major sponsors who had been loyal for years suddenly went quiet. VH1 reportedly froze new filming schedules. Crew members were told to stay home until further notice. And for the first time in years, Love and Hip Hop production came to a complete halt. People close to Mona say she's been under immense pressure, not just from fans, but from the network itself. Executives are reportedly reviewing everything, from how the show handles safety to how it portrays its stars. And while Mona's supporters argue she's being unfairly blamed, others say this reckoning was long overdue. Even former stars of the franchise started speaking out. Hazel E. once said the environment on set was toxic. She talked about being forced into scenes with people she had restraining orders against. Masika Kalisha claimed producers would use private conversations as ammunition for public humiliation. And Jocelyn Hernandez, one of the most iconic faces of Love and Hip Hop, once admitted, "They wanted me wild, and when I stopped being wild, they turned on me." Those old quotes suddenly sound eerily familiar now. Because with this new chaos, it feels like Mona's empire is coming full circle, back to the same pain and pressure that built it in the first place. But here's the heartbreaking part. For many of these cast members, Love and Hip Hop wasn't just a job, it was their life. It gave them fame, but it also took pieces of them. Some lost friendships, marriages, even mental peace. They opened their hearts to the world, believing they were telling their truth, only to find out that truth could be twisted in the edit room. Now, with Mona's silence and the show's future uncertain, people are asking a painful question. Was it worth it? The fame, the money, the exposure? Was it worth the trauma, the manipulation, the sleepless nights replaying fights that may have been staged just for ratings? It's easy to forget that behind every viral fight scene or shocking reunion moment, there's a real person, someone's mother, brother, or child, someone who has to carry those moments forever. And that's what makes this latest chapter so emotional, because no matter how much success Mona Scott has achieved, her legacy is now under a harsh spotlight, one that questions how far reality TV can go before it stops being entertainment and starts being exploitation. And as for Mona herself, she's reportedly been keeping a low profile. Some sources say she's pulling back from production, possibly planning a rebrand. There's even talk she might leave Love and Hip Hop behind altogether and start fresh with a new concept, something softer, more controlled, maybe even scripted. But others say she's not done, that this chaos is just another reset, a way to remind everyone who's in charge. Still, one thing's for sure. The police showdown and those sudden firings changed everything. They exposed the cracks in a billion-dollar reality TV machine and left fans wondering if the empire can ever recover. Because Love and Hip Hop didn't just make stars, it made memories, it made history. It gave voices to people who weren't always heard, and it showed raw parts of Black culture and success that mainstream media often ignored. But somewhere along the way, that rawness turned painful. The stories became heavier. The drama became too real. Now, after the police lights faded and the cameras stopped rolling, what's left is a haunting question, one Mona Scott can't ignore forever. Was the empire built on love or on chaos? And when the cameras start rolling again, if they ever do, will the audience still be there to watch? Because this time, the story isn't about who threw a drink, who cheated, or who stormed off set. This time, the drama is about power, silence, and the cost of turning real lives into entertainment. And as the dust settles, one thing's clear. The queen of reality TV just faced her biggest reality check yet.